earlier this evening, we see co-main event fighter Scott Etling coming into the arena. He will be taking on Johans Flogger in Johans' retirement fight. That one will be fun for our co-main event tonight.
Big co-main, big co-main.
But coming up next, it is Ace Anderson taking on Edrick Dillard.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring out our next bout of the evening, Ace Anderson.
Coming to the cage, it is Ace Anderson. Ace comes to us by way of the Academy of Courage. Now, Ace has had a name for himself in the world of MMA, but he comes from the world of pro wrestling. No matter what you think of that, Ace Anderson has been knocking people out in his last fights. He's looked great in them. He has finished people. Ladies and gentlemen, Ace Anderson is no joke in the world of MMA.
No, that's what I was going to say, too. He's a very charismatic guy. I mean, that probably translates, or that probably is a translation from his days in pro wrestling, because he comes in here, he's a ball of energy, a lot of charisma, but also looks to take you out.
Now, Ace Anderson had a very hard weight cut to get down to the lightweight limit, so we're going to see how that plays on his cardio and body tonight as he makes his way into the cage.
Yeah, that's exhausting to try to get yourself down to that limit of 155.
Let's bring out his opponent tonight, Edrick Dillard.
Coming to us by way of Finney's MMA, it is Edrick Dillard. Along with Edrick in his corner is Bellator veteran Joaquin Buckley. A lot of guys doing a lot of training with Edrick for this fight out of Finney's MMA. Now, Edrick has over 11 years worth of wrestling in his pedigree. He's got a great shot on him. He did take almost an entire year off due to injuries. That kept him out, but he had a full camp for this fight.
Yeah, Edrick is a super athlete.
As we go to our tail of the tape, brought to you by First Form, Ace Anderson, 28 years old, 5'10", 157.2 pounds, out of Okinawa, Japan. Edrick Dillard, 26 years old, 5'8", 154 pounds, out of St. Louis.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, fighting out of the Metro PCS blue corner this evening, he stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighs in at 157.2 pounds. Fighting out of Okinawa, Japan, Ace Anderson. His opponent tonight, fighting from across the cage out of the Metro PCS red corner this evening. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs in at 154.2 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Edrick Dillard.
Referee Dwayne Bess has the call for this fight.
You know, right off the bat, just being cage side for this, you can see that Ace Anderson is the bigger of the two, but really, really athletic is Edrick Dillard. A lot of wrestling experience, a lot of fights under his belt already.
Yeah, the pedigree on Edrick Dillard in the wrestling world here. You know, Ace has got to be worried about that shot coming at him.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get put on his back here, especially since he's had some success with putting guys out on his feet. Look for him to set up that big overhand that he's had success with here before.
Ace working that front leg kick.
Yeah, hard leg kick by Edrick Dillard, though, answered.
Here comes the big shot there out of Edrick Dillard. Anderson looking to get to guard. Good position. They're trying to work now, making some space.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go kick for kick with a guy that's got such a strong wrestling background like Edrick Dillard. You know, all it takes is one lazy kick, and look, you're on your back, and you've got a guy on top of you that wants to damage. But Ace Anderson doing a good job controlling the wrists right now.
He's got decent wrist control position there, trying to lock up Dillard. Eating some shots to the body there is Anderson.
Yeah, Edrick's looking to weaken up that body. He's got that can opener position. He's got his hips in tight, kind of a la George St. Pierre.
Anderson trying to make some space here.
Edrick's doing a smart job right now of controlling that foot so he doesn't get up kicked. Yep, right there. Anderson looks to
again drops back into the guard. Is Edrick Dillard under a minute and a half remaining here in round one.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the camp members there of Edrick Dillard. Really solid crew there. Joaquin Buckley, Bellator vet, fresh off just a grueling fight out in Connecticut.
Yeah, I also heard he trains with some pretty good wrestlers over there. I'm not real sure there, Ryan. But,
I mean, one of them's okay.
Under a minute remaining here in round one. Ace Anderson in the blue, Edrick Dillard in the camo shorts.
Edrick Dillard, I'm really happy that he's doing a diversified ground and pound attack. He's had the tendency in past fights sometimes to get a little complacent on top or expend too much energy. He's being very efficient with his energy on top right now and landing some different strikes. You know, he's changing his levels, standing up, looking to rain down shots, then going back to the guard. And what it's doing is it's managing his time, eating away at the clock to where he's able to stay on top, but it's also keeping Ace Anderson from settling into anything off his back.
Ace is just shaking his head and telling him no, that you've got nothing here other than just laying on me.
Aha, little gamesmanship.
10 seconds here. Just some short punches to the body from Edrick Dillard here. Anderson holding on to those hands.
Yeah, and you know what? Ace Anderson might be saying you're not doing anything from top, but he really wasn't doing anything from bottom. He was doing a good job of controlling the wrist, but wasn't threatening with anything as far as submissions go or really any ground and pound from the bottom. More so just looking to either get a stand-up or not absorb any damage. Ace Anderson had a big weight cut. Let's see if that takes a toll on him.
Definitely. As we go to our Mattingly Lumber instant replay here, we see the kick caught from Edrick Dillard. Nice, just maneuvers Anderson down, ends up in full guard and stayed there for most of that fight.
Yeah, Edrick Dillard, let's see though if having somebody a little bit, even though they're on bottom, you can still feel their weight. You know, that's a big guy pulling down on you, controlling your wrists. Let's see if there was any fatigue or any wear on Edrick Dillard from that first round grappling with a little bit of a bigger opponent than he's probably used to.
Second round in this 3-round contest. Ace Anderson in the blue shorts, Edrick Dillard in the camouflage. Jeremy Johnson tonight along with my partner Ryan Sutton live for Shamrock FC 300 live from River City, St. Louis.
Yeah, let's see what adjustments these guys have made, if any, in between rounds. Ace Anderson.
Anderson again gets taken down, quickly gets back into guard position.
Yeah, he rushed in, kind of overcommitted to some strikes. Edrick Dillard did a good job of kind of matadoring him, got out of the way, almost a little bit of a duck under position, crowded him.
Yeah, if I was in the corner of Anderson at that point in time, I'd tell him to stop kicking.
Yeah, you got to abandon those low kicks because he's going to time you out, grip your leg, and switch into a double. And you definitely can't rush forward like that because all it takes is one good level change, and now you're on your back, eating shots, and losing rounds.
Yeah, Anderson, you're trying to use the cage here to maneuver around, try to make a little space to pop those hips to get back into full guard position here.
We got a minute gone in this first round already. Edrick Dillard's got that foot looking to slice through maybe to a mount position on Ace Anderson, but Ace Anderson's got that leg locked down pretty well. Doing a good job from half guard of
halfway through the second round here. But as a wrestler, you can be very comfortable just sitting in half guard and beating on your opponent.
I love half guard. I love sitting there with a deep underhook, landing short shots, short elbows, beating a guy up. I actually like half guard better than I like a full mount because guys aren't bucking, you're not losing position. I mean, you can take your time.
You know, they are right in front of the broadcast booth here now. And also, I guess you can see Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith has joined us here at the broadcast table tonight.
Yeah, this is so cool. I was already stoked. I was already stoked to be calling the 300th event, and now I got to sit next to Ozzie Smith. Talk about nerve-wracking.
Referee Dwayne Best calls it to stand them up. Not enough action coming out of Edrick Dillard.
Yeah, and with 50 seconds left, let's see if Ace Anderson looks to seal this round or make some kind of impression. But big shots by Edrick Dillard. Tucks his chin and fires off a few big hooks.
Sometimes you got to bite down on your mouthpiece and throw, and that's just what Edrick Dillard did.
Yeah, he said, I'm not going to let you steal the round. You know, no big shots, no big Hail Marys. I can box with you, too.
Again, with the kick, gets taken down is Anderson.
Yeah, Ace isn't doing a great job out of that southpaw position of not recognizing that anytime you give up that lead leg, Edrick's just going to change his levels, grip it, and run into a pretty, I don't want to say easy double leg, but
it is much easier.
Yeah, not one that he's getting a lot of weight put on him. He's not sprawling heavy, making him work for it. He's just timing it out beautifully. I would abandon that leg kick if I'm Ace Anderson.
Yeah, I would agree. So, you know, in the corner of Ace Anderson, I would definitely be telling him there, you got to stop kicking at a wrestler. But now, if you're in the corner of Edrick Dillard, what advice are you giving him?
I mean, same thing you've done. I mean, you've got the formula to win right now. You know you can put him on his back anytime you want. And you know from the feet, you can hang with him. I mean, even in that little flurry there, he was going shot for shot with him. But big guy, you don't really want to chance it.
So let's take a look at our Mattingly Lumber instant replay here. Again, those short kicks doing nothing. And basically, Edrick Dillard just manhandles him to the ground. You know, he's working off that entire lead leg front kick. When that lead leg front kick comes in, Dillard just shoots and takes advantage, complete and total right there.
Yeah, he shoots and takes advantage. That takedown we saw in the replay was just Ace Anderson overcommitting, kind of bull rushing in. And when you bull rush, sometimes you risk getting matadored, and that's what happened. Competitive fight thus far, though. Ace Anderson's here to fight. He's a tough guy to finish. Little confusion there.
That's all right. Good show of respect again, though. Big hands coming out of Edrick Dillard now.
Yeah, I like that Edrick's holding his ground on these lead hooks, too.
Again, lead leg front kick to takedown.
Beautifully timed out double leg. Keeps the head in the center of the chest, too, and just drives through, takes away all risk for submissions. Edrick saying, hey, you can get up. No, you can't.
Yeah, no, not going to let you up. And that's the thing whenever you have a wrestler who knows what's going on, he can manhandle you, he can control your hips, and he can stop you from going places.
Yeah, I've been coaching and training Edrick a long time. He's a very, very analytical guy. You know, he's always thinking in there. So even with getting up, rushing back in, getting up, that's a well thought out attack. He's doing that on purpose.
Again, very content to stay here in the half guard position is Edrick Dillard.
And one thing I like, and I personally am a fan of it out of his half guard position, the elbow in the throat. It might seem simple, but it's a physical position, it's uncomfortable, and it allows you to kind of cross grab, control, and land short shots whenever you look to disengage and take the elbow off the throat. But
well, it really gives, you know, the person on bottom something to think about.
Yeah, and it sucks.
It's completely uncomfortable.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to have somebody shivving you in the throat while they're punching you with the other hand. I mean, it's a very physical position.
Down to 1:20 here in the third and final round of this fight.
Yeah, the referee's taking a look at this. I look for a stand-up pretty soon. At this point, I think the referee hasn't seen a lot. Yep.
Yeah. What this is, ladies and gentlemen, is that if the referee does not see enough action, he stands them back up. You have to work. Again, front kick. Edrick looking for the position. Ace almost goes for a head and arm of his own.
Yeah, Ace did a good job of finally challenging him with the hips there, not just giving up that double leg. Edrick went up to the body.
Again, big double leg coming out of Dillard.
Yeah, beautiful double legs by Edrick Dillard. Keeps his head right underneath the chin of Ace Anderson. And Ace Anderson jawing at the ref, saying he's not doing anything on top, but
he's getting the takedowns.
yes.
20 seconds left here in this fight.
If you can't defend the takedown, then referee stands him up one more time. This is where Ace Anderson, 10 seconds left, going to look for his home run shot.
Ace throwing everything he can. Dillard again gets the takedown.
Yeah, Dillard having none of it.
Great fight there coming out of Edrick Dillard. The story of this front leg kick to takedown. Every time that Edrick needed it, it worked.
Yeah, anytime he decided to pull the trigger on that double leg, it was there for him. And Ace Anderson, the first half of that round, or first half of that fight, I should say, gave those up with those kicks. Then even when he stopped kicking, Edrick was just so dialed in on those double legs. He was getting him at will.
Yeah, as we saw that there in the Mattingly Lumber instant replay, a takedown anytime that Edrick Dillard needed it, he found it.
Yeah, and near the end of the fight, he didn't even mess around with it. Standing, he just pulled the trigger again, put him on his back for probably what I'm assuming is going to be the win.
So let's send it up to the cage to Stephen Baer to give us our results.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the scorecards this evening, that was a great fight. Let's give both of these fighters a big round of applause. Going to the scorecards this evening, your winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Edrick Dillard.
Edrick Dillard taking the win there in this fight. A beautiful display coming back after that year off. You can definitely see that he was making things happen.
Yeah, he took a year off, very safe bout to enter back in. Did what he did best, wrestling, control, ground and pound. Took the win tonight. Very efficient performance by Edrick Dillard.
Great win, and we'll be right back with more right here at Shamrock FC.